Okay, I'm about to show you the enhanced Berkey topping off system, invented by yours truly, John Barry, okay? After many, many months of using my Berkey and loving it, trying to figure out a way to always have it topped off. So when we want to top it off, we want to make sure the bottom section is full of water, so that when it's time to use our water, you know, we always have plenty in hand. We don't have to wait for it to drain through. Now, how do we know how full the bottom is? Well, fortunately, we have the Berkey sight glass, which before we had the sight glass spigot, it was really a problem because the only way to see how much was in there would be to lift the whole top container off and peek in. That is unacceptable. So we got the sight glass, much better, but still not perfect, okay? Because as you can see, on the sight glass, it shows me how full the bottom is. So if you look over here, I can see the water in the sight glass is going up to here. And so I know I've got about this much empty space in the top. Now what that translates to is if I want to fill this remaining space up with water, I want to put about the same amount of water in here. But you have a couple of confounding factors, because I don't want to put exactly that amount of water in. I want to put a little bit more because I have 4 gigantic carbon filters sitting in the top that are each this big around. So this much volume here, to get the same amount of volume up here, I probably have to go about this high. So I got all these variables. I'm constantly thinking, how much water do I put in? And I have to be careful because I don't want to overfill the top. Because if I put too much water in the top, it'll drain down, it'll fill up the whole bottom of the container, it'll start to leak out this rim here. Big problem. We don't want that. So, what do? We come up with the John Barry perfection system for topping off your Berkey. Now notice this ingenious graduated scale that I have placed on the side of the sight glass spigot. All these nice markings that I did with a Sharpie. What I did was I took a measuring tape from the top of this down, because you'll notice that the top of this spigot falls just under the top here. So we're going to assume that our full spigot is going to be equal, a full lower container would mean that the water in the lower container was equal to the top of this spigot, which puts it about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch below the top rim. So that's perfect. So then we move an inch down, an inch, an inch, an inch, an inch. Now, what I then did was I filled up the bottom container with water up to this marking here, and then I drained it down to there into this container, and going from there to there, filled it up exactly that high. I marked it with the Sharpie. I then moved it down 1 more inch, and it filled it up to this spot, and I marked it with the Sharpie. So now I know 1 unit on there is equal to that high of water, 2 units on there is equal to that high of water. So now let's put this into practice. I'm going to look at my spigot, and I can see the water level is here. And if I count my markings, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 markings to where the water is now. So I'm just going to fill this twice. 1, 2, 1, 2. So simple. Perfection. Take my lid off. Got that just about there. Top it off a little bit. Okay, so we got 2 lines there. I put it in. I'm now going to fill it up with another 2 lines. And now I have achieved Berkey perfection. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to do all kinds of geometric calculations. So I'm just under the second one. That's close enough. Now I know that I've used my graduated measuring container along with my graduated sight glass, and I know that the amount of water that I put in here is going to bring that water level exactly under that rim. Easy. Now I know that using this graduated fill container along with the graduated sight glass spout. Anytime I look at that, I can just quickly top it off, and I know I'm always gonna have a full lower container. That's Berkey perfection.